But he's saying, listen, here's what's coming. Something is coming. It's going to change everything. That the power of the kingdom of heaven, the law of the Spirit of life, is starting to find its way in a people that are called the sons of God. The sons of God are emerging, and creation is waiting for the fullness of sons of God. Now, why fullness? Because everybody who's been saved from the time of Jesus' death till now has participated in the law of the Spirit of life. But how many of you know? Not equally. Right? Not equally. Some, and they stand out as monuments and leaders and examples of righteousness in their generations. Like, we love that. We write stories about them. We write songs. There are books written about it. We look back and say, oh, wouldn't it be great to be there like this guy, to learn from Charles Finney or whoever it may be. These guys, like, they obviously they tapped into something. And this is what God is trying to tell us. That thing that they tapped into was not exclusive to them. It wasn't limited to one generation. It wasn't limited to 400 years ago. In fact, the pattern is this, that there will be more people in the last days that exact the fullness of the power of the kingdom out of what Jesus did than have ever existed up to that point. That's the promise. So we're going towards a fullness. We're not just a few. And God does this. What he does is so that nobody faints throughout the generations. He looks in a generation and he says, I need somebody to be an example of hope, to give others the capacity to aspire to greater. And so I'm going to pour my grace out. Where's some singular person who has a really open heart towards me? I'm looking. I find one, Charles Finney. He's a guy. He's a lawyer. Going to go visit him. I'm going to invade him with the power. I'm going to change him. He's going to grasp things. He's got the groundwork of what I need to do this for his generation. So he does that. And this guy exemplifies amazing revival and wonderful things. But God did that for his generation, not because that's the highest, because the highest is not one man singular in one generation or one window of time, but it is an example so that everybody else can follow in their footsteps. God does that to say, this is for you. And what's happening is as we get closer to the end of the age, more and more people are going to get it. You are more anointed and walking in more anointing and more knowledge and more revelation than any other generation before this day. Nobody has had as much revelation as a generation as this revelation. Now, you yourself may not match William Booth or Charles Finney or Smith Wigglesworth, but as a generation, the aggregate of faith and knowledge in this room dwarfs any other generation. Did you know that? Why? Because we're on a trajectory of fullness towards this point that I'm going to refer to in a second. This point where even creation that was subjected to this law of death is going to say, all right, this is it. Our time has come.